Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the Sun in conjunct Neptune in a natal chart. Now, first off, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects of natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may refer to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, if you have the Sun in conjunct Neptune in a natal chart, there may be an adjustment, which is the inconjunct between the basic wants, which is the Sun, and the dreams and fantasies, which is Neptune. Now, the if you have Neptune in Sagittarius, say, those dreams and fantasies, may be tied in, with traveling abroad, expanding horizons. It could be, more interaction with foreigners. Now, and if the Sun is in the zodiac sign Cancer and you have this inconjunct aspect, you could see the big disparity because the Sun in Cancer, the basic, fundamental character and the basic wants are connected more with home, family, and introversion, and may have difficulty actually going outside the box. So it could be too much or too little of, one thing or another. Now, another thing, and then again, one or the other can be overemphasized. And the thing is, another way this aspect may manifest is such where there may be an imbalance between the conscious side, which is the Sun, and the more imaginative side, which is Neptune. If Neptune is in Scorpio, say, there may be a lot of imagination, expressed, matters with it could be, the occult, which includes astrology, as an example. It could be, things with the supernatural, in general, things associated with horror, such as horror movies. And, the thing about, this too, it's also, I'd say, too, an imbalance. It could be where you have the Sun being the conscious side, and Neptune is it is connected with intuition and psychic receptivity. So there may be too much of, just trying to be generally aware of what you're seeing right in front of you, as opposed to using the more intuitive side, which is Neptune, or it could be the other way around. And another thing, as far as how this aspect may be expressed, it could be too much focus on shining, so to speak, which is the Sun, and not enough on solitude, seclusion, and isolation, which is Neptune. Or it could be the other way around, or vice versa. It may be where there may be so much emphasis, on being in the spotlight and getting, notoriety, recognition for things. If the Sun is in Aquarius, it could be trying to shine, so to speak, matters with astronomy, astrology, computers, electronics, innovation, aviation, humanitarianism, selflessness, as some examples. And the thing is, and there needs to be like more of a balance and equilibrium between, wanting to shine and in the matters that are connected more with solitude, seclusion, and isolation, which is Neptune. It could be, another way this aspect may manifest. Could be like extroversion versus introversion as well, because the Sun, the planet itself, the fact that the Sun rules Leo, indicates that it is, planet, the planet connected to extroversion, gregariousness, and then you have, the Neptune, which is more about, again, the solitude and seclusion. It's more introverted, so there can be an imbalance of those energies and those needs. And another thing too, there could also be an imbalance between activities that are connected with the biological father and dominant males, which is the Sun, and those that are less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, the hungry, which is Neptune. If you have, your Sun, say, in Capricorn, it could be, where those the biological father and dominant males may be Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be people that are very ambitious, career-oriented, structured, disciplined, responsible, consistent. They like things regimented, as some examples. And also, too, another way, this aspect, may manifest too, is I would say, it may be about expending too much or too little energy and vitality, which is the sun, on altruistic efforts, which is Neptune. If Neptune, say, is in Aquarius, those altruistic efforts, may be flavored with more humanitarianism, selflessness. It could be, matters for the collective good, environmental matters. They may involve, computers or electronics or astrology. It could be like bringing, tech labs, computers, to inner city schools, those that are less fortunate. And the thing too is, another thing about this aspect, it could also indicate too much or too little drive and motivation, which is the sun, just in Neptune-related activities in general, whether it's generally sacrificing for others, altruistic endeavors. It could be subjects that are fields activities associated with Neptune. Whether it could be fishing or boating. Poetry, dancing, photography, spirituality, the metaphysical, which includes astrology, as some examples. And also, too, this aspect could also suggest being, it could be being too unrealistic, which is Neptune, of what you can, physically do. Which is the sun. The sun is connected with the physical body, has a connection with that, and energy and vitality. Or, you may completely lack idealism in what you can physically do, so it can go, could be like a vacillation and distortion of that energy. And, to say if the sun is in Scorpio, it may be, things connected with transformation or recycling or working with trash or refuge, as some examples. Now, another thing about, this aspect as well is that, one can be, vacillate between, being very domineering, which is more, with the sun, and then, or being overly submissive and passive, which is Neptune. Could be at times where you say if you're in some shared resources situation, it could be where you feel like, you gotta be this dominant one, and be in control all the time, and then other times you just might, take a step back and not hardly, really have any say in regards to those matters. So it can go kind of back and forth. And also, too, there might be, too much or too little, inspiration, which is Neptune, in connection with actions. Now, I mean, let's say if the actions are connected with the sun. Let's say if the sun is in Libra, as an example, those actions may be connected with partnership situations or collaborating with others on projects and endeavors, matters with relationships or arbitration, negotiation, art or the law. It could be lawsuits. Now, another thing too about this aspect is that it could also indicate too much of a focus on, doing things that require, the physical energy, expending energy, vitality, which is the sun, or too much on simply sleeping and relaxing, which is Neptune. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.